After all, how many of you knew matcha's cultural significance, or why was it?
I did. Like, of all the people watching this video, how many people of y'all lived in Japan? I did. Hey yo, what's up you guys? So I'm coming here with another video breaking down the Tabo here, talking about did America steal ube from the Philippines, you know? Normally I have done these videos during October for Filipino American History Month, but I guess One Down is trying to do something different in which they're trying to push out videos each week, which is cool. I got content to talk about. I like doing these breakdown videos, talking about not necessarily critiquing them or debunking them or destroy them, but just having a conversation with the topic at hand. And so this topic is a little bit weak for me. We'll get into it, but you know, I got my not Filipino layout. I got it in the background, but this is the closest thing to purple. So again, we're going to go into video, talk about it, and have a discussion. So with that said, shall we begin? But first up, of course, if you're new to my channel, what is up? My name is Mitch, Maverick Mitch. Hey Mitch, all the Mitches, and pretty much I like talking about what I like talking about. So current events, reviews, pop culture, social, political commentary. Be sure to check out all those videos as you're finishing this video. Again, before we actually get into the actual video, some thoughts going here. Again, first and foremost, if this is the first time you're seeing me doing this video, the host is Sapphire Sandalo, one of my friends. So again, this isn't anything about breaking down the Tabo, you know, breaking down One Down, you know. They're my friends, but I do like talking about these topics. They tend to go on a progressive liberal viewpoint, and obviously I'm a conservative, so it's kind of like a different viewpoint to what they're saying. And so, but when it comes to this topic, did America steal ube from Filipinos? I think this is such a weak topic, especially if we're going in season 2 of this like series of breaking down the Tabo and everything. I think it's kind of weak, right? In like, you're talking about like social issues and all that stuff for like progressives, and then you go talk about ube, you know? Like, I guess you can throw in some more weaker, quote-unquote weaker topics, but like I feel like you should amp up your game, and I feel like this isn't it. Like hindi yan yun, you know? So, you know, we'll go into it, talk about it, but like straight up my thoughts about it real quick, just without even getting into it, you know? Yeah, like ube is popular, taro is popular, probably like in the West Coast, including like Las Vegas, maybe in the other cities too, on the East Coast, Chicago, New York and everything, but I don't think it's widespread, right? And I think they're gonna touch upon that, but I think it's just something that, you know, that this is such a West Coast, SoCal, NorCal type of city like issue or topic, you know? Like, I don't think this is and this is why I think it's weak, right? This doesn't really affect the diaspora of Filipinos, whether you're in Canada or overseas and all that stuff. But, you know, I guess it's cool. We're going to talk about it. The video is only 4 minutes long. So really, it looks like they don't even have a huge topic to talk about other than the origins of ube, I'm going to guess. The origins of ube and how it's popularized or not being popularized and everything. So yeah, with that said, I think we kind of hit the points. Like I said, we're gonna go through this, but I think it's just a weak topic to get into. So, but like we'll see what they gotta say. So with that said, let's get into it.
Taro boba, please. I love ube. Hate to break it to you Filipinos, but taro and ube are not the same thing. Taro isn't even purple most of the time. The color we see when we order a taro boba actually comes from food coloring manufacturers use to dye it. But such little is known about the roots, besides the fact that they're purple, so they often get confused. While taro is grown and enjoyed across 4 different continents, ube is extremely unique to the Philippines.
Alright, so real quick, going into this, I'm gonna just shout out to Cafe 86 because they have like a ube upside down halo halo, which is like ube base, right? And so I'm just gonna like shout them out because it's bomb. I wish I got one for the video, but whatever. So yeah, so okay, we're going in a history lesson. Cool, everything cool.
As we see the flavors becoming more common in the US, taking the form of every possible dessert, they're also becoming less connected to their history. So, is ube entering the mainstream worth it if the food isn't associated with Filipinos anymore? Is this the first time a cultural cuisine has been separated from its culture? And if we wanted them to, would businesses profiting from ube products ever give credit to the Philippines? I'm Sapphire Sandalo, and this is Breaking the Tabo.
What up, Sapphire?
Real shit. This lack of credit and erasure of culture towards...
Alright, so going into this, obviously this is the progressive liberal slant here, right? So like, cultural appropriation, lack of credit, erasure of culture. Not to say that there isn't any merit in that. I just think I'm just gonna go into this thinking like, again, like, how many Trader Joe's out there? Like maybe there is a lot of Trader Joe's like having a lot of ube, but I feel like it's very localized. I feel like the Trader Joe's that are in California and Las Vegas may have those things that has a Filipino base, but it's like, I don't think this is a like overall thing. But you know what? Again, we're gonna go ahead and say like, sure, there is some merit here, saying like, okay, give credit where credit is due. So I'm not saying I'm like wiping all of this out. I'm just saying, I'm just viewing this already in a defense.
America isn't limited to ube. We saw it done with matcha in 2015 with the introduction of trendy green matcha lattes. Before the ingredient was reduced to the level of pumpkin spice, matcha held a special place in Japanese culture. The antioxidant properties and calming energy commonly associated with it today were traditionally brought out by a slow and meditative preparation process. But for the sake of wellness, Americans condensed that process into instant matcha packets. And the same thing is happening to ube. It won't be long before people start associating ube less with our culture and more with a Starbucks drink or even the color purple. Thinks, a company that makes underwear for periods, introduced a new color you can buy their products in, ube. They announced that they chose the purple because of how soothing it looked, not only failing to mention the Filipino culture it comes from, but dropping the announcement in February 2021 when anti-Asian hate crimes were rising to new heights. An account on Instagram even pointed out...
Okay, so pause. I have never heard of this Tinks before, but I think it's funny because I think if I were to imagine Tinks, it's the same people that come up with Latinx and Filipinx. So it's y'all people who is stealing from Filipinos. Like y'all, the same people that said, oh, let's be progressive, let's be all inclusive. It is y'all people who's stealing from this Filipinx, the same people that claims want to be Filipinx. Y'all doing the same thing. So you go ahead, police your side, because I don't care about none of this. And so, okay, whatever.
There are young girls in the Philippines who don't have proper access to clean menstrual products or feminine hygiene education. So, companies are profiting off of Filipino culture without crediting the Filipino community or standing up for them when needed. Take Trader Joe's. Despite being a huge company that is distributing supplies of ube mochi waffles and matcha jojos nationwide, they don't mention the Philippines or Japan at all. So while it stings that we're not actually getting Filipino representation every time we order taro at a boba shop, it's not like we'll get any if they start serving ube too. Because it doesn't help us if nobody sees us. Representation in food, seeing it in national grocery stores, reading national newspapers, cover stories about it, doesn't mean anything if the food is separated from the culture it originated from. After all, how many of you knew matcha's cultural significance, or that it was...
I did. Like, of all the people watching this video, how many people of y'all lived in Japan? I did. No, like, I went to, like when I go to, Kappa Sushi, you know, like they had matcha readily available for you to drink hot tea, right? And so, if anyone got say about that, anyone got, like, skin in the game, it's me.
So for everyone,
what up, Masawa? I gotta say that for everyone who was in Masawa. So, like, a lot of my friends that was in Masawa lives in Vegas, so that's kind of crazy too. So that's cool.
every ube product you purchase that doesn't credit the Philippines, try to also support Filipino businesses or businesses that are mindful of the way we introduce ube to their customers. Educate your non-Filipino friends on the history and significance of ube so they can make these conscious decisions too. Because when we take the time to align our values with what we're buying, instead of just purchasing whatever's convenient, stores pay attention. It's important to remember that companies aren't mass producing these flavors because they think hopping onto the trend will make them more money. Of course we want more people to enjoy ube. After all, sharing food is Filipinos' love language, but we don't want the ube products at the cost of our history and connection with the food. So the next time you enjoy ube anything, remember, it's all thanks to Filipinos.
Alright, cool. I think that was fair and everything, you know. Again, overall, pretty good episode and everything. But I think it's one thing that comes out really quick when I hear this episode right now is like the left really likes talking about gatekeeping, like, oh, we can't gatekeep and all these gatekeepers and like all this stuff, right? Like excluding people and like who you to say to this. They like you policing this You policing ube and saying like, oh, tell it where it came from, which is in due credit, is actually gatekeeping in itself. So, like, you can't have it both ways. You can't like say people exclude, but you have to police people at the same time. Like, oh, you're eating Filipino food. Like, okay, so in general, I mean, like, I didn't think I was gonna get hype in this video. Like, I just got all like passionate, right? So, but okay, so let me just say, right, that for the most part, I agree with this, right? Give credit where credit is due. If we are doing this educational portion in which we are doing ube, whether it's from whatever boba shop, whatever dessert and all that stuff, fusion, commercial TV, give credit where credit is due, like, hey, like, give a shout out to Filipinos and all that stuff. This actually, I was, like, funny talking about in the Raya the Last Dragon, there was a purple tribe, and I called them Ube tribe, and so, like, and that's another thing, you know, I think a little bit, like, I'm not a huge fan of ube. Alright, so I do like ube in itself, like, ube crinkles, shout out to my friend Charlene for making them, you know, like, I do have, like I said, halo halo, upside down halo halo from Cafe 86, but it's not my first thing to go to, right, when I go to like a boba place. But I'm just saying that just because, in a way, it feels like taro ube is a little bit overrated. So ube, we should kind of like, one thing that I also like is like, let's make the distinction from taro from ube, you know, and so because they were saying like the taro was, you know, food coloring, all that stuff, and so like, hey, that's a fair point, you know. What else? So lasting thoughts, I think this was pretty good, you know. It goes a little bit more, and they draw aspects from Japan and matcha and everything, you know. Again, I agree with the overall idea of give credit where credit is due. But is it that serious? Is it really that serious? Maybe in the future, because we don't want to necessarily get it run away without letting people know where the origins come from, and being exposed to Filipino culture. Like, let's be knowledgeable and all that stuff. So in a way, like, that's cool. So I actually went in this video thinking this is gonna be a weak subject, but this has actually got me a little bit passionate, just because, well, they made it to be more like more influential than it really is, type of thing, which is, I just think, like, sure, you have valid points. Is it that serious? Maybe not. And so maybe that's how I got kind of passionate in this. Whatever. So that was fun. And thank you for watching. You can see me in my next video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.